Hello, everybody. Welcome to T-Box Talk, episode 17. My name is Andrew, and today I'm going to be joined by Josh, Nicky Shanks, and a new member of the podcast today, filling in for Will, who's really busy editing together all the Fox Run stuff, is our good friend Alex. Hello, Alex. Welcome to the pod.
Hello, everyone.
Clap, clap,
Great
clap.
to be here. Thank you very
Alex,
much.
Wait, yeah, get the...
Oh, my God.
I can't read.
Green.
Try again.
Green.
It wasn't green. It was yellow.
No, well, what's
That's-
green? Let's
that's-
see what green is.
It's a horn.
Oh, where was that?
That's a good one. That's
That is a good one.
All right. So today on the pod, we are going to be talking about the weekend, doing some golf news, some very interesting stuff going on with the LIV, get into a small segment for what are we watching, because I want to go off about a movie, and there's a show that me, Josh, and Alex have been watching together that is really good.
Looks like I'll be
Shanks, once
looking
again,
up some
probably.
internet videos while that goes on.
Shanks does not watch television or movies or anything. He has a very interesting life. Then we got some LDs from the T's, bringing that back. And then we're going to bring back the stand-up section as well. A lot of nerves going around about this week's stand-up session. Preparation was, I don't know, Josh was squirming a little bit.
Last minute here.
see.
I tried last. I just got it. Wasn't coming to me. I had writer's block last night.
Oh, yeah.
And on the other hand, Colucci's out here knowing what his joke is, no extra practice, doesn't even need to like do any Google searches.
Well, you know what?
We all know why.
I'm
Yeah.
authentic. I've got a story, and the story may or may not
Oh, we know
involve
you got a story.
Yeah, we know you've got a
Thank-
story.
Thank God that I'm going to get a story about myself in this stand-up segment. It's gonna,
But it makes sense. It's going to be funny. I promise. So stick around for that.
Don't make promises you can't keep, Andrew.
may want to 15-second fast forward is in your bottom right if you're using
God,
Spotify.
fuck you. All right, the weekend, me, Josh, and Alex were together for the weekend. We went down to Cape. It was a great time. And sunburnt as all hell. I think all three of us, right? Josh, you got it bad. Cambio was burned as well. He also has an oil burn on his wrist as well.
Yeah, self-inflicted injuries have been hurting me recently. Between the burn on the arm and the burn on the back now, kind of just forgot to do the back.
Yeah,
Everything
I
else is
also
good.
forgot how to do
I mean, it's not really forget. There's a crisis among us, you know. It's
Oh.
like I'm getting to the point now where like I literally reapplied suntan lotions. You guys saw me. It was all day long, and no part of my body got burnt except my fucking back. Like, and it's not even my full back. It's like literally half of my back.
Yeah.
Like the part you can't touch.
The
with
part
your
you
hand.
Yeah.
the only part on my whole body that I just don't have access to. I need a windshield wiper of sun, to just like streak it.
And you know what's funny is I remember, I think now that it's all coming back to me, like literally the spots in your back are white where your hands can reach, and then everything else is just
Shoulders,
bright red.
shoulders, lower back, side, even like the side of my body, and then there's just like one patch that's like an oval that just like is my
where your hands can touch.
yeah.
And then I always forget the top of the feet.
Yeah,
of the
that's,
feet.
that's a
yeah.
brutal one. That's
Always
a brutal
forget
one.
it.
Or the-
I-
Really, man? No,
What?
I'm kidding. Or the best is when, you know, like you're like, oh, yeah, can you just like spray my back? And your buddy just goes, shh.
yeah,
And then you have like the Z
You can see the
sunburn
line.
in
Yeah,
your
yeah.
back.
That's
yeah,
true.
it looks terrible.
That's what I had to say.
But we had a good time down the Cape. Josh was actually showing off some toys to our friends down there. So Josh brought
Pause.
along with him the One Wheel and the Oculus Rift. Brought it to our friend's house. And
MetaQuest 2.
MetaQuest 2.
I knew that was coming.
And then I think you might have convinced two people there to spend a couple $1,000s on new toys now.
Well, I mean, I don't know. You know, I'm a firm believer that the products I love are the ones that become extensions of you enjoying the things you like to do. And you're a gamer, and you've been a gamer in the past, Cambio. Nick, you don't play video games, but
I don't do anything good.
you don't watch movies, you don't play video games, you don't go out. You just, what do you stare at the wall all day?
I did watch a movie recently with you guys. Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, that was because you were just there. Like, it's not like you chose to do that.
He was avid though. He
I was the movie connoisseur of
yeah,
the night.
He really wanted to watch a movie. This
Yeah.
is when we went to Fox Run, but I don't know. So, you know, I brought those little toys there, and honestly, we had so much fun playing with them. I mean, Alex got stuck in the meta and kept me up
Yep.
till 2 a.m.
Yeah,
He
I
doesn't-
am most likely going to buy the Meta, not the One Wheel.
No, the One Wheel's a
Not the
big
one.
purchase, but I heard you were fighting with some 8-year-olds in the meta.
Yeah, so Josh had me hop into like a Top Golf range session, and I was minding my own business talking to Josh, and then this little like 8-year-old kid in the metaverse turns like his little avatar turns around towards me, and he just chirps whatever I said to Josh. And then he starts like hitting me with his metaverse driver. And to be honest, I didn't appreciate it. So I went full like Halo Modern Warfare type Xbox 360 on the little 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Good.
He deserved it, dude.
Yeah,
Those kids
fuck
can be,
him.
He went hot.
He had
those
it coming.
kids are fucking ruthless.
But here's the thing.
dude.
I explained to him. I was like, listen, you know, there's a lot of 8-year-olds in the metaverse. They are all growing up with it now, which is scary to me because
Very
it's like
scary.
I also looked up more footage on what the metaverse actually is, and those are just games, dude.
Yeah.
But there's actually a real universe that's goes even a step further, where it's actually like you can go to McDonald's and like some kid, Ryan Tannehill's
a quarterback. In the
no,
NFL.
it's Ryan
Must have been
something.
him.
But he spent like 50 hours straight in the metaverse and the
Oh,
real
okay.
metaverse. And you can go see Las Vegas, you can go see Paris, the Eiffel Tower, and it's all the graphics are all pretty good. I mean, it like looks convincing. But moral of the story is it's a new universe, and we've got to try to keep good vibes and good energy in the new universe.
It's impossible, dude.
I mean, it's impossible. Like we were just
impossible.
saying.
Those fucking little kids, they have it coming, dude. Like, they're so mean. They're meaner than us.
They are fucking mean.
But if I know
Yeah.
Alex, he probably got pretty vulgar with them.
Well, the kid looked at me. I took it from 0 to 100 really quick.
Yeah.
They're ruthless though, man. They got nothing hold. They have no hold back, dude.
No.
One of the other day I had. You know what's even crazier is like they're like when I used to be on Xbox, I used to think like I wanted to be cool for the older people. You know, when I was younger.
Yeah.
But these kids, dude, they'll get their parents involved right then and there. Like this kid, one of the kids said a joke at this kid, and he just goes, "Hey, Ma, you gotta fucking hear this." Some kid said I said this. Did I fucking say that, Ma? And the mom comes over. You can hear her on the other, and these kids are now like so shocked that he was willing to do that they got stumbled on themselves and started like fumbling their words. When the mom, of course, came over and is like, "You guys are fucking lame, dude."
Oh my god!
I just
would
could,
have crumbled.
dude.
A
This kid,
2v1 mom and kid.
the mom came
I would
on.
have turned it up. What did you say?
No,
Sorry,
the mom came in like a fucking wrecking ball,
No,
dude.
see, Karen. Can't have
It
that.
wasn't a Karen though. She wasn't being like, "Don't talk to my son like that." She was like, she joined in the chirp.
Hell yeah.
The kid was like, "You guys are the biggest fucking posers ever." This kid's 8 years old. I was like, "You guys are the biggest fucking posers ever." and then the mom rolls over and she's like, "They said what? Those fucking losers." Oh, my God, that's hilarious. Like,
This reminds me of the scene in Step Brothers when they're walking by the playground and all the little like
yeah, they
12-year-olds
start chirping them.
beat
Yeah.
the shit out of Dale and
exactly.
That's
then-
Brennan. You're a
fucking
big movie
awesome.
guy.
Oh, huge movie guy.
But he actually has seen Step Brothers.
I
You
have.
have
Great
to.
movie.
Great movie.
Did you guys see the recent clip with Pat McAfee of the kid who called in to their radio show?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm thinking about. Did you see that, Josh?
No.
Oh, well, maybe you should get out more, man.
Oh, that
But
was
It
really
would be
funny.
the opposite.
yeah, you're right. Shit.
Hey, rip to the stepfather's dad. He's no longer with
no
us.
way.
No way.
He died this year. Yeah,
Did not know that.
He lived in Cumberland, Rhode Island.
he did for a period of time, but then he
No
moved.
way.
He moved
Yeah.
to, I think it was maybe Newport or something.
I saw him at Dave's
I have a
one time.
deep hatred for him, though.
Why?
Don't speak ill on the dead, dude.
On his character in the movie.
Oh, well.
Really? I thought he was fucking hilarious in the movie.
He was, but he was so rude.
Dude.
Oh, I thought it was so funny.
He was so funny and rightfully rude. His sons were 45 years old. They were almost as old as he
Well,
was.
I'm on my way there, and I hope somebody is understanding of it.
Nick, you would have to triple your age to be as old as they were.
That's why I'm on my way.
So, Nicky Shanks, let's keep it on you for a second. You actually did something this weekend, huh?
Yeah, I left the house for a little bit.
I'm proud of you.
It was actually, yeah. Do the
the green
thing.
one. Oh, shit.
We already went over this. No, yeah, I went go visit my buddy in Dedham, and we ended up in Quincy at Water Club. If anybody was looking for a good spot to go, it's great. Looks over the Boston.
Really?
Oh yeah.
That I am interested.
Oh, me too.
That's good.
Oh well, this goes on to my LD, but that'll come later. But it's awesome. It's like right in the cutout of Quincy, like right on the water. So you're looking over the boats right at the Boston skyline.
But I heard you stole drinks, though. Is that true?
I didn't steal anything. There was an error on the bartender, which was very fortunate for me. You know, me being a good dude, I was like, you know what? Everyone's having a good time. I'm gonna get everybody around.
Cambio's salivating
Yeah,
right
what is
now.
going on?
He's
I also had a bartender error this weekend.
Oh,
Let's hear it.
I can't
Finish
wait.
yours first.
Oh, I'll go first. So I'm like, you know what? There's like 5 of us, including me. I'm like, all right, I'll get everybody a few beers and a shot, and we'll get the night going a little bit. We just got there. I was feeling good. So there's 2 bartenders working together, and obviously it's pretty expensive, like closer to Boston, right? So I'm expecting like, you know, $5 a beer, $50 plus like $10 a shot, right? Maybe $100 tab.
At
Whatever.
least,
yeah, whatever. Like it's fine. You know, I'll get the round. Somebody get the next one. It's fine. So I'm okay. Like, can I get 10 Bud Lights, 5 tequila shots? Great. She starts handing me 2 by 2, right? So she does 2 beers, a tequila shot, like packages. And as she's handing them to me, I'm turning around and giving them to like the kids who are going to drink them. And then the second bartender comes and she's like, "Oh, she's busy. I'll ring you out." And then she just goes 1, 2, 3 because there was only 1 package left. So she only rang me up for like 3 beers and a shot.
Oh, that's
because
awesome.
I had passed them out already. They weren't on the table. She was like, "All right, yeah, like $22."
That's a steal.
Not
That's
your
perfect.
And I was like,
I dream of those moments.
And I was just like,
Yeah.
okay. And I gave her like a pretty, like a decent tip. You know what I mean? Just because she's going to get yelled
Yeah,
at.
check me
No,
out
she
next
wouldn't
time I
even
go to the
know.
bar.
Yeah, they won't even figure it out. But I mean,
No,
they
they
kill
do
us
so
on
many
prices
tricks.
anyways. So this is me getting back at the system.
It's also their error.
Yeah. So that was great.
Nicky Shanks, I would have done the same thing in your situation. I also probably would have bragged about it too. But
Yeah, it was great.
Alex,
Yeah,
you also
so
stole drinks?
well, I didn't. I didn't steal drinks.
Bunch
Let me
of
just say
thieves
that
in here.
someone paid for them. So we're at this bar on the Cape. I have been getting drinks most of the night, and then it comes a point when I get 2 because I'm thinking like, all right, this is gonna be my last time at the bar. So 2 drinks last time, probably like 4 in the last 45 minutes.
Hey now.
And I Venmo Colucci $90, probably like 6 drinks total. I'm thinking $10 to $15 a drink, get me to around 90.
Oh,
So I
because
go-
you were going off my tab.
So I was going off Colucci's tab the whole night because there was this fucking stupid ass $50.
Yeah, we're going to get to it later. We're going to get to it later. Save it. It's my
$50
complaint.
min. So anyway, Colucci
If
stepped up
that's
to
your
the
LD
plate.
from the T, I swear
It
to
is.
God.
It
Colucci
is.
stepped up to the plate and he was like, "Put it on my tab. Just we'll square up at the end." So I Venmo Colucci $90, and he's like, "Dude, the tab was like $95." So I was.
Ooh.
We then come to the realization that I've been putting drinks on some random dude's tab. all night.
That's
And
fucking crazy.
well, we also came to the realization because he came back and was like, "Okay, I got my last 2 drinks. Here's the big." He Venmos me all this money. I'm like, "Dude, first of all, I closed out like 20 minutes ago. Second of all, it was only like $95, and he Venmoed me $90. So
There was also a pool at the bar. And
Yes, there was a
word
pool
on
at
the
the pool.
street was that if you jumped in the pool, you'd get kicked out.
I
which-
mean, you do realize the guy nearly kicked me out for swearing, right?
yeah,
What?
they were
I got
power
into
hungry
it.
at
Yeah,
this
I
place.
walked out. I saw my boy. Shout out Matt D. I saw him and I fucking walked. Like I told the bouncers I was gonna because he was still in line outside. So I walked out real quick. They were cool with it. Ran up to him. I was like, I fucking gave him a big hug and I was like, "What the fuck is good, dude?" And there was nobody else out there. There's no
probably
families.
like 10 people in line, all
yeah.
between
at
21
max.
and 25.
Yeah, and some guy walks over to me. So you know what? You ever seen Hellboy?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He looked like the
No.
troll, the troll that's on the wheelchair. You ever seen that one?
I
Oh my
know,
God.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he has like that weird like rocky head.
yeah, because I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
This guy was a fucking rock guy, and he ran over to me all hustled and bustled, and he's like, hey, we got families and kids around here. I'm going there as a 24-year-old to a bar experience where there's like 150 24-year-olds, and he's like, hey, we got fucking kids and family around here. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, dude. He goes, I told you this twice. I go, I don't know who the fuck. I've never even talked to you in my life, dude. You did not tell me this twice. And he was like, he gave me this look, and I realized for a second, I realized this is the fucking owner. So I was like, I put my hands together. I sucked it up, and I said, sorry, Papa.
I saw him run up to you. I was like, "Oh, Josh just walked out of the bar. They're gonna make him pay cover again." So I thought that's what he went up to you for. But
No, he was
No.
just being a complete dick.
Yeah, well, that's how they all are. But anyways, that wraps up a good weekend. Shanks, I'm glad you left the house.
It was great. I saw
I'm
like
proud
a
of you.
tree and some roads. It was crazy.
I'm proud of you.
We're
Listen,
running a little slow today, too.
Yeah, it was definitely a long weekend.
so you're coming into work hungover.
No. Just
God
tired,
damn,
man.
I'm just disappointed.
Now you're
as,
lying.
as a
Shanks.
third party non-employee, it seems like he's coming into work hungover.
You just got here. You have no benefits yet.
I also noticed the attire today. I was
Not suit and
expecting to
tie.
see a suit and tie out of Shank's.
That's
oh my
true.
God. You are an
That's
avid
true.
listener,
I
man.
am an avid listener.
That's true. That's fucking facts, dude. One, you're dressed completely inappropriately. Two,
I have a
you're
cool
hungover.
shirt on though.
What's the shirt?
The Tiger Woods
It
blade
doesn't
polo.
fit you though, dude.
It fits me great.
Your neck is too thin.
Yeah,
Tiger
but
Woods has a stronger neck.
I'm working out so aggressively that I'm preparing. Why would I buy a shirt I'm going to be out of in 2 weeks?
Wow.
That's a
Good
fucking
point.
bold
All right,
statement.
so
I mean, yeah.
you've claimed that you're going to come in a shirt and tie, and you're going to grow out of all your clothes. So if neither of those are met, I mean, you're going to get a very bad review from this intern.
I'll tell you what. At one point, I'll do both of those because I'm like 140 pounds right now, soaking wet, and I'm going to put on a big gut in a few years. So one, that's good, and eventually, I'm probably sure I'll be in a suit and tie. And
You don't think there's like
I'll stop by.
there's some type of technology out there or app that we can like put a picture of him in and like it'll give him a gut, like we can,
Definitely, dude.
Right?
If you can
Definitely.
make filters that'll make you cry, you can get filters that make.
Yeah.
I
They're
want to
like
see
old
him
filters.
with like a big old gut.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
Like a
And
big
older,
chin too. Like,
yeah. Take that.
really big.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious.
That
I'll
would
just
be-
come back in 10 years and then
What
boom.
what else can these filters make bigger?
Lots of things.
I like that cameo. I like where your head's at.
Thank you, Josh.
Let's get into some golf news, guys. A lot of LIV stuff going on recently. So 11 players, including not Tiger Woods, including Phil Mickelson, are suing the PGA Tour for banning them from PGA Tour events. And this got everybody, freaking out like over the weekend, like, oh, could this be it? Could this be the thing that brings the golfers back to the PGA Tour? And then today, the PGA Tour responded, and they pretty much said, get fucked. They were just like, I'll read a quote I pulled from golf.com, I think. It was, despite knowing full well that they would breach tour negotiations and be suspended for doing so, plaintiffs have joined competing golf league LIV Golf, which has paid them tens and hundreds of $millions in guaranteed money supplied by Saudi Arabia's sovereign wealth fund to procure their breaches. So they're pretty much saying they knew what they were doing when they joined the LIV. They knew they were going to break tour guidelines, and they did it anyways, so they don't have a case.
I mean, but that's what they're going to say no matter what because they have to cover their ass. But the reality is that's like saying, I told this guy if he came on my property that I would punch him in the face, and he signed off on it, but then he came into my house and I still punched him in the face. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's why
No.
I don't think the
I'm
LIV...
saying that
Didn't
what
call
they're...
that one
Yeah,
either.
you
Okay,
lost me there.
ready? So just because you sign off on something and then somebody executes the action does not mean that the action is okay. So like the PGA Tour, yes, they told them that, but that's not what they're suing them for. They're suing them that they were wrongfully put that in that situation, that they had to sign that in the first place or do that action with what they knew. It's not about, hey, like we didn't think that was going to happen to us and it did. It's more like what they did was wrong, and despite the fact that we moved forward with our decision, we were being pushed into it like a big bully to you know what I mean, bullied into it, out of it. So fuck them. And now they're going, you know what I mean, they're going to take them on head on.
I don't hate that take. I didn't really think about it in that angle. I thought this comment by the PGA Tour pretty much was going to beat the case down. But now that you say it like that, the fact
way.
that they even had to sign papers saying that they couldn't compete in other leagues
Got bullied into it.
is bullshit.
Well,
Yeah.
what you mean to tell me that you were going to expect those players to take hundreds of millions of dollars in lost income because the PGA Tour thought they could stiff arm them? And what were they making on the PGA Tour? That's the other thing.
lot.
So the lost opportunity cost for them to not proceed through that is hundreds of millions of dollars. So, and that's like in some of their cases per player.
Right.
So there's no world where that little fucking stupid statement is gonna play. I'm sorry.
But like I think we said a couple weeks ago, no matter what happens, it's going to take a long ass time to get it all settled out, which is the issue. Like
Oh, yeah.
this whole season on the FedEx Cup will probably not have any of those LIV. Well, no chance it's going to have any of the LIV guys, but maybe in a couple years they'll get rejoined or something like that. But it's tough.
So they want to participate in all PGA Tour events, or is this just for the FedEx Cup? Because I saw,
I think it's about the FedEx Cup playoffs.
yeah, because you need to play in a certain amount of PGA
Correct.
Tour events and even accumulate the points. I feel like even as it is, I mean, there's only like 8 LIV tournaments throughout the year, which also sucks. It's like once a month for the normal golf season, but Are they going to get to like accumulate the points?
Do they you mean like in the major tournaments? Because I think those are worth FedEx points.
They are, but all the mini ones, like the one that this weekend, I think you got 400 points for winning.
No,
or something.
yeah. So that's what they're saying is not fair.
They want to play in all of them.
Yes.
They would need to compete for the FedEx Cup.
Right, they would need to. So it's kind of like an all or none type thing. But at the same time, that's like, I feel like that's not fair
Not fair to
which
who?
is
to the PGA Tour players. Because then at the same time, if this gets passed and they say, or I don't know what the word would be, and it's like, all right, the LIV golfers can play in PGA Tour events. It's just going to completely dismantle the PGA Tour because why wouldn't all PGA Tour players go to the LIV?
they
That's why
would.
they're
That's a damn good point.
They would. I mean, but that's the thing is like the PGA Tour is trying to protect the intellectual property that they feel that they have. The problem is like we've never really seen a situation where a major sports league has been created out of thin air. So like they honestly would need to share the podium. That's what would happen.
The thing is, we have seen it, but they've never been successful.
Right. Like yes,
the XFL, the AAF, the AFL, or whatever it's.
But they
called,
never really competed. They never brought on superstars like this and tried to compete head to head where the superstars were leaving the league to go to this other.
No.
You know,
They just didn't have the money. Right?
No.
They did not have the money.
No way.
Actually, I think it was. What was the? I think it was the USFL. Or no, that's
That's
last.
not like just started. I think.
Yeah, I think it was the AAF last year. They didn't even complete a full season because they ran out of money.
Yeah.
It was like
That's a bold task, dude. You can't take the NFL off their heels without money like you've never seen.
well, and also the talent that was playing in these, secondary football leagues was the reason they were playing in those leagues is because they couldn't play in the NFL. So
you just by the start created a D League. What these guys are doing is so different than that.
what their mission was to give football in the spring, so you could have football year round in the off season. It didn't work. I mean, the league went bankrupt. The XFL, The Rock took it over.
It's all about the money.
And that's why it's so interesting because it makes it so competitive between the two leagues to try and poach players, which also makes it kind of more enjoyable.
I mean, dude, there's never been a more fun time right now in golf.
that is
like for
true.
the viewers.
So much
Drama
could
and
happen.
stuff,
Dude, they're
yeah.
talking about this on every sports podcast across the nation. Forget golf podcasts. Like this is fucking big news, man. I mean, I saw the other day some guy I know who goes to like Trump rallies and he was the guy who shouted at the first Live event with Phil Mickelson. And they filmed the whole thing right behind him. He literally blatantly yells out something like, it was like, let's go, Phil. Let's do this for the Saudi Arabian prince or something like that, or like his fund or whatever. And everybody in the crowd, I'm surprised the guy didn't get the shit kicked out of him, honestly, because people did not like it. But there's a video of it, it's crazy.
Yeah. No, I saw that video. It was going viral over the weekend.
Was it?
Yeah, it was. It was pretty funny, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, dude, but you have all that going on. But I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not saying that the PGA, I'm not saying I support the Live Tour. A lot of people, I feel like because of the way I'm saying or I take stances in this, I'm not supportive of the Saudi Arabian government having the funds to take over. What I don't like is that I feel like the game has been held back so much because of all these bullshit restrictions, which is what the players don't want anyway. I just feel like they kept the sport this gentleman sport and this elitist sport, and they've left a lot of people out of the question. But because there's now this competitor and they're doing things differently and they can do whatever they want because it's all, you know what I mean? They just created it. So
they can really just do whatever they want.
Whoever holds the bag
3
holds the
days,
rules.
54 holes, let's do it. That's how we're going to do it from now on.
Cambio, they literally
8
hold the
events
bag.
throughout the year, sure.
Sure.
And we haven't just
Which also sucks. I was looking at the schedule. It's
Sure.
the start of every month. I was like, oh, let's go
September, Boston.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. September 2nd to 4th, Boston.
which is Alex's dreadful day that he's moving into a
move
Boston
into
apartment.
Boston
So he's
the
going to be
weekend of-
hell
Probably
weekend.
gonna have to push that to the next weekend.
Wait, so they're only how many events are they doing officially now?
I think it's only 8.
It's only 8.
It's
The whole year?
Yeah.
But that's what some players wanted too. Was DJ was talking about having more time with his family and his wife.
And
Well, and also that $100-something million
Yeah.
bag.
Right. By the
But-
way, I don't know if we covered this. Bubba Watson officially went to the Live Tour.
good for Bubba.
I mean,
Big old Bubba.
Probably signed a fat check, dude. Who's even left? Rory, Justin Thomas,
Jordan
Spieth. But
Tony.
Jordan Spieth, I love that dude. I mean, I thought he was going to be, the next Tiger Woods, but has he even been on the podium?
He's been playing well recently.
he?
Yeah.
Like,
I think he
A little
won
bit better.
When did he
twice
win?
this year.
Really?
Yeah.
You
Like-
might be thinking of something else then.
Hold
No,
on.
Josh is right. He kind of declined. I mean, considering
Oh,
how
yeah.
fast he started,
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
true.
he declined hard, but he has been playing well.
Wasn't he?
This year, I
he was
think.
pivotal in the Ryder Cup, though.
Oh, yeah. He plays well in team events.
But we also didn't cover the fact. So it kind of got leaked out that Tiger's offer
Oh,
from the
yeah.
LIV was $800 to $900 million.
I thought that was already established,
It
wasn't it?
was
Rumored.
It was rumored, and then it became. I think it became pretty set in stone.
It's
like,
hilarious
this is
though
what happened,
because
and
he's
he
like
turned it down.
100% on the end of his career. I mean, he might have a couple more big plays, but if that.
Yeah, but he knew he didn't have to do it.
He
Like,
doesn't need the money either. He
a
probably would have lost
billionaire
his. Would he have lost Nike if he did that?
No.
he would have put them in a tough spot because didn't Nike drop a couple other people for doing it though?
No, I think it's more like financial companies have dropped people. I know like MasterCard dropped a few people, like stuff like that, just because it's like financially based kind of system.
Mm-hmm.
In their ties and stuff like that. But as far as like branding goes, I don't think. I mean, some people got picked up too from going and signing those deals because they're going to be in the main stage, right? Like you have to think about who signed deals.
I love that there's.
That's true.
You guys mentioned the 8 events. I love that because then it just makes each event a banger.
Josh to LIV
You know.
Tour? Question mark.
No, but those are how many holes did you say they're doing? now?
54, 3
54.
rounds.
Also, do you know why it's called the LIV?
54.
Yeah, but
Roman
why is it
numerals.
54?
Oh, I know this. I heard this.
Oh fuck, I don't know.
Perfect round of golf.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what it
because
was,
they
yeah.
offered the $1 billion prize if you can
Mhm.
shoot that
I think you have to birdie every hole. I don't even
Yeah.
think
on
they
the
allow,
entire
like-
tournament.
I think. What do you get? Like a bill, something like that.
I think it was a bill because it's like almost impossible or something like that. But.
Yeah. Well, they don't know where I'm from.
It's true.
So.
Also, in golf-related news, Nick Faldo, the famous CBS golf commentator, signed off this weekend. He's done at CBS. It was very emotional.
That video was crazy.
Yeah, we probably can't put the
No,
clip in
PGA Tour
because
owns
the
it.
PGA Tour will take it down immediately. But if you get a chance, look it up. Nick Faldo, farewell address. I was very emotional with Jim Nantz. It's just like, the voice of golf when you're like taking a nap on a Sunday, watching it in the background. So he's no longer going to be at CBS.
Soothing
Damn.
voice.
Yeah, watch golf as you
Yeah.
fall asleep hungover on a Sunday. I'm not
Yeah.
sure if that's the main
Yeah.
viewership.
Yeah.
yeah.
As
Yeah,
is my
yeah.
viewership.
Yeah, that's-
Fucking-
Yeah.
Not a great look, Colucci. Also,
Hopefully your joke's way better.
yeah, dude.
What do you mean,
Jesus
dude?
Christ.
It's the perfect dad nap.
I'm
Colucci,
so mad I
we're
had
not
gum in
trying to
my
make
mouth.
we're not trying to make people think that like golf is some fucking boring sport, man. We're trying to pump it up.
I fall asleep during football games sometimes, not the Patriots, but I
well,
fall asleep
that
watching
might
football
be
all the
some
time.
Narco-
Well,
narcolepsy.
here's a question for you. Here's the question
Could
for
be the hangover.
yeah. Good.
you. Here's a question though. How the fuck do you retire from sitting there above a mic and
Yeah.
and talking about a game?
Well,
You
because
stop
there's a
talking
lot
about it.
because there's a lot of travel involved with it. He's an older man.
You know
so
what's even
he has
worse?
he has like time away from his family.
Like-
he has to travel event to event every week. 'cause
all
he does
right,
every PGA
but
event.
okay, I get that much, but like like if you're the let's get ready to rumble, you know what I mean? Like that takes vocal power. and
Yeah,
I think
Bruce, he's still out there
Yeah.
too.
yeah, Bruce Buffer's still doing
Standing
it.
in
Yeah.
between 250-pound heavyweights,
Yeah.
getting in there. Dude, did you watch that fight? I don't remember which one it was, but he got all up in the fighter's face when he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
announcing him.
no, he's a beast.
No, oh yeah, he gets
Like
he gets
an
into
inch
it.
away from the guy's face,
Yeah.
like from Indiana.
Yeah, dude. So he does that, and then
Spitting
this
on him
guy.
and shit.
Yeah,
Now
like
let's come back
spitting
over
on
to
him.
the other side of the spectrum. Looks like there's gonna be a putt here on 18.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know what you're saying.
God, I'm running.
I
All
don't know.
right, everybody, it's time for me to retire. I've had enough.
I'm
I'm
running out of
getting-
breath faster and faster as these days go
My
by.
breath is starting to fade out of my body.
I'm getting paid over $1 million to sit here and watch golf, but good God, I could watch the Sunday news right now.
Instead of watching this putt, I could be watching the sunset.
this
Well, listen,
tournament.
he's got a freaking great voice, and it was a very emotional video when he retired, and I'm a sucker for that stuff, so I enjoyed it.
That was also Josh and I's audition to take his spot.
To be
if
fair,
CBS
Alex,
is
we
listening.
both just had butter coming out.
I
of
thought
our
that was
mouths.
good. I thought that was
We
really
had
good.
butter coming out.
We could do a little ASMR type podcast
Yeah.
if we want to get after
We
that.
could.
next.
ASMR.
I
big
can put my
thing
gum
on
back in my mouth.
That was beautiful. I
That
don't know
was
if I've
nice.
ever heard a more buttery sound come through these microphones.
You're welcome to the listeners.
Yeah.
And that's going to wrap up the golf news for this week. And we are going to jump into some What Are We Watching? I just really quick want to discuss a show with Alex and Josh because Alex thinks it's fake, but The Rehearsal with Nathan Fielder on HBO has come out. There's like 4 eps out now. I haven't seen the 4th episode
Neither have
yet.
I.
Ooh, yeah, because we were in the Cape.
Yeah,
Yep.
something to do this tonight. But my God, that show is hilarious. But Alex thinks it's fake and staged, which is bullshit.
I'm coming around. Number one, just because Nathan For You is such an electric show, and I know that that's real. But I also saw a few tweets about, I don't want to ruin it if anyone's going to listen to it, but the guy and the girl are like dating now.
Yeah.
I
So
don't know
it
if that's a
makes
spoiler,
it
though.
seem like they're
I mean, I don't
not
know if that's-
actors then.
No,
they're not actors.
my personal opinion is this is like there's no way that they would have put that all the production value into that only to do actors, especially because I just don't think it's fucking acted. Like when you watch Nathan For You, the way that people react in that show is like so much the same as the way they're reacting in this show, you know?
That is true.
How do you, I mean, there are certain things like, how do you find, for instance, I'll give you an example. How do you find a child that's willing to be like put into a house with strangers? You know what I mean? That's like fake.
It's on the parents, though. The parents sign their kids up for child acting all the time.
Yeah.
And make money off
No,
of
I
them.
know. But my point is like, they are actors. They are hired actors. The kids
children,
are,
the children,
but the
yeah.
children are still just children. So they walk in, they go, "Daddy."
So fucking weird.
So 30 seconds. Explain what the show is.
The Rehearsal is Nathan Fielder's mind just coming to fruition. It's so fucking funny. He stages all these events for people. The reason he found these people, he put ads out on Craigslist for people to participate in
Oh my God.
his program, and he gets these weird people to sign up, and he builds out these fake scenarios that these people then have to go do in the real world, and he lets them rehearse it. That's why it's called The Rehearsal. And if you know Nathan Fielder, he's the most awkward person in the world. So it just makes the show so funny, and it's so smart, and it's just perfect. Watch
What
The
would be,
Rehearsal.
Alex, what would be an example of this?
An example of it would be like if I was nervous for this podcast, he like would rebuild the OMADA podcast studio, and I would like practice with him for weeks and weeks and just to come in and for like a 30-minute podcast, and that's over. He like builds it all out, millions of dollars to
Yeah.
build like a fake
Yeah,
studio.
he-
Just
He did one where there was a woman who wanted to be a mom, so he bought a house, like brought in different actors, and he swapped, and she like to see how she would handle with each stage of childhood, like raising a child. They had to bring in after each night.
Oh
They
my
ran it for like
God.
weeks on end, and after each night, because the child can't grow at that rate, they had to bring in the children, like different children from different ages, and had like in the middle of the night, the child they would just like
Switch.
They'd switch the child in the house so that she would wake up to a like 1 year older child.
Yeah.
And like the thing is to make the simulation that much more real, he had to like take the garden like that she was growing, that she like wanted to grow in her lifestyle, and they would have to like pull the plants out and replant them as like grown.
Oh my God.
you know,
Simulating
simulate
time.
the time.
Like full trees
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
background.
He was
Because time is
simulating
moving
time.
differently in this simulation. It's a more rapid time, so they have to do that. They have to like make the fucking wall, the paint on
Yeah.
the wall chip eventually. Like just like crazy shit that they're just like doing, and
It's
great.
psychotic. So just watch The Rehearsal.
Where's it
It's
on,
so
Andrew?
funny. It's on HBO. It's unbelievable. Anyone else got a good show or movie that they're watching or watched?
I mean, this is a throwback, but they're still somehow coming out with seasons. This Survivor, great show.
Really.
Are you like watching new seasons as they're coming out?
Watching new seasons as they come out. Love Survivor, good binge show.
It's all on Hulu, I think, too, so you can like go back and watch previous seasons.
I've been doing Soap today just so it's more up to date, but I think you can watch it on like Paramount. I think is the
Oh,
most
they
up
might
to
have
date.
Paramount
switched
Plus.
then.
Because like
didn't know
CBS
that.
has a deal with Paramount or something.
That
but
means they probably all got pulled off of Hulu, which sucks. I haven't. Fuck.
They have
All
like
right.
2 seasons
fire.
on Netflix, but there's 42 total. So
Yeah,
That's actually going on.
They
That
shoot
show's a
2
great
seasons
show.
per year. It's fucking awesome. Josh, you watch anything recently?
Yeah, I mean, I've been watching a lot, but I actually have a question this go around because like I'm watching a lot of good stuff, but has anybody seen these like in the last week there's like 4 or 5 like main production movies. The one with Mark Wahlberg and Spider-Man, Tom Holland. They just put
Uncharted.
Uncharted just put it on Netflix. Has anybody seen that?
nope.
No.
It got very mixed reviews, but it's based off the video game Uncharted.
What about Gray Man?
I have not seen The Gray Man yet.
I don't even know what any of these are.
These are on the front page of Netflix. These are brand new
I
movies.
think I've seen The Gray Man.
It just came out like last week.
I believe I've seen it. Give me a quick little summary.
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
that would
watched
be your
it.
job
No,
if you
I'm
saw it.
I'm taking this time almost to not give my opinion because nothing's really blown me away. If you want the honest truth, I've been watching a lot of YouTube on YouTube Premium, and that's been hot. So I feel like a lot of the streaming platforms slowed down a little bit. I mean, you know, if you want to, actually, I'll give you one show that I've been watching, and Alex watches this with me, but a new season of What We Do in the Shadows. It's the 3rd most successful, what are they called? Mockumentary ever made. So this thing bangs. It's about vampires and how they're just like these like they're just degenerates and whatnot, and they're funny as all hell. But the show is done by a couple of people in that show that are really, really fucking funny, and it's like such a winner. And
I've
there's
heard a lot of good things about What We Do in the Shadows.
What is it streaming on? It's Hulu.
Yep, Hulu.
So
Also have not seen The Gray Man. Just looked up the
also there's another one, Sandland.
Sam.
It's about this. It's crazy, but I guess we got a lot to watch for next week.
Well, I wanted you to talk about, because you were talking about all weekend how good it was, but Woodstock 99 documentary.
Oh, yeah.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I did watch that. I mean, the thing about that is like I knew some of it, and the other thing too is when you watch shows like that, you I don't know, it's just they're just sort of repeating what happened there. I mean, it's also not like they elegantly put it together so it's this crazy story, you know what I mean? They just took everybody's accounts and put it on screen. So from that aspect, it's whatever. But you know what actually happened was pretty crazy. I mean, it's like definitely one of. I mean, do you guys ever hear of a festival within the last couple of years that had 300,000 people at it?
No.
What was
No.
the Fire Festival? How many people were at that?
Well, Firefest was a bunch of influencers who went to an island.
Yeah, I
who were
remember that. I
promised
think
one
there were a
thing,
lot of people
and
there.
It wasn't.
The difference with
There wasn't.
Firefest is like one Firefest just basically never happened. Like when they showed up, there was nothing there.
Yeah.
All the acts had backed out. And like with this one, it was like in Woodstock 99, the acts played. And when they played, they had a fucking crowd of 300,000 people. And throughout what happened basically was over the next, they cheaped out on a lot of the budgets because they did, you may not have heard it, there was a Woodstock 94 was a thing. There was a whole other Woodstock that nobody knows about because it was just not, it rained that year and it was just not that successful. And then they did this one, but they didn't make any money during that, so they cut corners. So when everybody showed up, they subbed out the food, meaning they hired subcontractors. So the subcontractors were charging whatever they wanted. So they were charging like crazy amounts of money for the food that nobody could afford. And so then they also, the water wasn't proper. They were making people spend $9 a water bottle kind of thing.
Jesus.
And then the sewage was basically blew up and they were all rolling around their own shit. And then as it goes on, and they're all on crazy drugs, and it's like the crew that was there was the Limp Bizkits of the world. It was 2000s. Everybody, or early, well, it was 1999. Everybody was in
It's
that
like grunge music,
grunge
punk
music,
rock, anti-establishment, all that
anti-establishment.
stuff.
And of course, when they figured out how badly they were being treated by the venue and everything and it was also like 120 degrees throughout this whole thing. And there's no shade because it's on an Air Force base.
That's my
Oh,
living
and so-
nightmare,
Right.
dude.
Yeah, so at
Fuck
night,
that.
and they even did this thing. I'll tell you the one craziest thing I saw on there was that they got through the whole weekend to the last day, and they had dealt with everything from people stealing vans and driving them into the crowd. They took sound towers down by their hands. I mean, they were crazy shit was happening there. But what was really wild was they actually handed out on the final night, after they had already gone through some crazy situations, they handed out 100,000 candles, like with fire. They lit 100,000 candles and
Like they
gave
gave
it.
them
That's
to
a great idea.
Gave it to a crowd who had been starved fucking rolled around in their own shit, they were drinking infected bacterial water. So the water supply had been, because of the way the sewage had leaked out and everything, or whatever had happened with the whole facility, the sewage got into the water, and so they were getting gangrene mouth, or they were getting trench mouth is what they were calling it, because it was all contaminated water, and I'm sure people got even more sick from that. But point is, they give them that, and they fucking burnt the place to the ground.
That's awesome.
They took those candles, and it was like Red Hot Chili Peppers was playing to them burning the place down.
So I gotta watch the documentary.
Yeah, I mean,
dude.
actually, what happened was crazy enough that you get to see it, and a lot of people got. I mean, there's some bad stuff that went down too, a lot of sexual assault and whatnot. But
yeah, I gotta watch the documentary. Because like I've never heard about Woodstock '99. I've heard about the original Woodstock, and I did a bunch of school projects on the original Woodstock. I never did anything on Woodstock '99, so I want to watch that documentary. I think it's a three-piece documentary.
Yeah. 3 hours long, I think.
Yeah,
total.
I crushed that. One sitting. Shanks, anything?
No, I just watched a cool thing with Ryan Reynolds and Steve-O like 20 minutes ago with you guys.
Yeah, it was like a 4-minute YouTube video.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. You guys should go watch it.
You
That's
also
crazy.
watched Dumb and Dumber with us a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, that was good. Classic. Actually, some scenes in Providence, Rhode Island.
The whole beginning of the movie takes place in Providence.
Hometown, baby.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Goes right by the big blue bug and
Yeah,
everything.
the big blue bug is in it.
It's still that movie fucks, dude.
It's still funny.
We were dying,
Yeah.
man.
Very
loud.
fun
Very
That
movie.
movie's still.
I realized that like watching comedy movies with friends is just 10 times better.
Yeah, it is.
It's like you just
I don't
laugh
have those
together.
either.
and
Well,
it
with
makes it-
Josh's laugh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Josh has a
it's
very
true.
infectious laugh, so it makes it
I think
watching
you
it better.
mean annoying. I have a very annoying.
Yeah, you
laugh.
can look
That
at
thing
it either
scares
way.
me, man. That thing sneaks up on you.
Well, you could look at
Sometimes.
it either way, but you
It
know,
is what it is, dude. I got a powerful
Be yourself.
voice.
there it
One,
is.
Thanks, Shanks.
one love.
That was a moderate laugh. That was an easy one, but sometimes it gets out of control.
If I want to be heard, you know what I mean? Like I want to really show that I think something's funny, then I'll
You
go
just let it
ballistic.
rip.
Yeah, I'll let it rip.
So that's going to wrap up what are we watching. We'll move into Larry David complaints here. I already alluded to mine. We were at a bar over the weekend, and they had a $50 credit card minimum charge, so I just thought that was fucking outrageous because I got one drink, and I was like, oh, where's my receipt so I can tip you? And she was like, no, hon, it's a $50 minimum credit card charge. And I
There
was
goes
like,
her tip. Out the window.
No,
I'm kidding, I'm kidding.
no. But then I was forced to open up a tab, and we had been drinking all day, so I didn't really want to spend $50 worth of drinks. So I just had to start telling people put shit on my tab.
Yeah.
I took
But-
full advantage of that.
Yeah, absolutely. But then everybody else also had an open tab, so like it was kind of like just running around in circles. So it was a goddamn disaster. The $50 credit card minimum charge, like what the fuck is that about? I don't even know.
So stupid.
So stupid.
Mine-
I've never even been to a place that's done that.
No, that's
I've
stupid.
seen 10.
10 is
all
normal.
the time.
Fuck.
So
10,
then you
dude.
can get two
it's one
drinks at once.
Yeah.
It's not even
anyways.
2 drinks. It's 1.
Yeah.
Some it is one, but like it's just ridiculous. But what are you gonna do?
Also, just asking for you to forget your card there.
Yeah.
100%.
Seriously.
100%.
As someone who loses their items very
Also
often.
very like corrupt because
Yeah.
there's fuckers like you guys who are just gonna get free shit.
Or like
Well,
what
I
if
didn't do it
the
on
purpose?
Not on purpose. I just mean like they're the ones that are being corrupt because now they're fucking some other guy over.
Right.
And like what if the person next to me heard like
Your name.
Colucci tab, and then like they told their friends like, hey, if you need a drink, go put it on Colucci
no
tab.
one would do that.
100% people.
Yeah.
Oh,
met-
I
actually,
bet people would.
I was at the bar and some guy walked up to me and he just like he like pushed me out of the way and I was like, I looked him in the eyes right there. I was like, you got some fucking balls walking up here like that. I was like, what kind of drink are you gonna get right now? And he like wouldn't answer me. And he was like, I think he was either blacked out or he was just like, but I just looked him in the eyes straight there. And I was like, who are you? Like what like who just like shoved somebody out of the way? And I was like, I'm trying to buy a drink for 2 girls right now. And I was like, does that change the fact, you know what I mean? Like, can you let me get a drink first so I can get out of here? And he looked over at me like with a dead eye and just goes, no. I was like, you know who's not a bro? You fucking douchebag.
Some people at bars just that guy's either looking for a fight or
No,
He
he
can't
wasn't.
see, or he
Or
can't
he's
see.
just
He
blacked out
probably has
drunk.
no
I would have
idea who it
actually,
is.
if he had tried to fight me right then and there, I would have
killed him.
this because his eyes were in 2 different directions.
So
I
you
mean,
just
Yeah,
blackout
yeah.
drunk.
Okay.
It sounds like you just blackout drunk. Josh, why don't you go with your LD from the T?
mine is actually probably something that you're either an offender of or a defender of.
Ooh.
I was driving back from the Cape, and I hate this shit, dude. I was going 82 miles an hour. I wasn't quite going 85. At points, I was going 85, but like consistently 82 miles an hour in the left lane in a 3-laner.
Were you weaving or just chilling?
No, just chilling. I was just autopilot on 82 miles an hour. And my thing is like, I don't really think there's a world where like, cause if I'm going like 70, I would never hang out in that left lane.
No.
You know what I mean? Like I'm not a douchebag. But if I'm going 82 miles an hour, am I going to get out of the way so somebody can go 90 and kill somebody up down the road, whatever?
Yeah.
And like, that's why I say you might be an offender or defender. My personal stance is like, some guy was multiple people were riding my ass at 80 to 85 miles an hour in that left lane. And there's plenty of room for them to pass me on the right. Like if you really want to pass me, you can just go on the right. But instead of doing that, I'm talking going that fast, they were fucking a couple feet behind me.
That's fucked.
And I eventually got in the other. I was so fucking pissed off. I got in the other lane intentionally, and I got in the other lane. They of course cruise by, and I fucking get in the left lane. And I start riding
Get back
them
on their ass.
and I fucking
That's what I
rode
do
them
sometimes,
for
too.
an hour straight. I mean, I literally like bumper to bumper was completely prepared to
rear end
fucking
them.
smash the back of their car
Jesus
just to get
Christ.
back at the fact that who do you think you are
I am.
to do that?
Hey, he kind of turns into your cop shield.
Yeah,
Well,
I do
I'm
that
the
all
person
the time.
behind.
Yeah.
Oh, you're
So-
saying if he's behind.
No.
If he's in front, you're technically just going with the pace of traffic there. So he's the one that's going to get the ticket. Usually,
Yeah.
you might both get pulled over. But that's
I was
my
thinking that
main.
the guy from the back is going to get pulled over because once the
Tailgated.
cops,
True.
you can't, you can only tailgate one of them.
But my main complaint with your Larry David there is that if you're going with the pace of traffic, like you're going 82 miles an hour and there's a car a good distance in front of you and you're going the same speed as him, then there's nothing wrong with him with what you're doing. But if you were in a clean left lane room in front of you, I think that's kind of on you.
To just get out of the way.
Well, you got to get out of the way and let him go.
Yeah,
'Cause
but
he's
like
going
what?
90. You don't make you getting in his way. He's going to swerve into the right lane or middle lane and then back in front of you. It's almost
No,
more
see,
dangerous.
from a danger perspective, you're completely right. Here's my complaint is this: why do you need to go that fast?
Right.
I think that's bullshit. Why should I have to get? Look, why should I have to? Because it's not safe. But why is it a thing that if I'm going 80, let's even say 85, because I was cooking. I was not going slow. 85 miles an hour. There's no world where somebody should be like on my ass. You know what I mean? Going 95 miles an hour. You know, the worst part is that they're not in sports cars. They're in like some fucking Toyota Corolla. You know what I mean? That just like the max speed of it is 110, but they need to go the max speed the whole way.
This drives me crazy because where are you going that going 95 to 85 is going to make a difference? It's
Exactly.
not. It might
Exactly.
shave you 45 seconds.
Exactly.
And the only reason I'm agreeing with you now is because I used to be a huge person who did this. I used to be the rider to force people into the middle lane, but I was yelled at by you and several other friends, so I have stopped doing that. But I get very angry when
You're
somebody
just
does it
making
to
the
me
roads
behind.
so dangerous
Yeah.
for what? Like
An extra minute.
Like
off the
actually,
road.
let's be realistic. Maybe you shave on an hour trip. What, 3 minutes, 5 minutes?
And how many
If you buy
times?
that extra margin.
How many times is the car that's riding you? You end up catching them on the exit lane anyways.
That's the worst part. Is
and
that
you just are like, we got here at the same time.
Yeah.
You fucking asshole.
yes, Colucci, exactly. And the worst part is like, at 80 miles an hour, if you crash, you have a, I don't know, I don't know. the
You
actual
pretty
number.
much. I think you pretty
No,
much.
no, no.
Depending
You can
on what
spin
car you
around.
have.
You can spin around, lose some speed. You know what I mean? You can hit a car that and slow down in some ways. I mean, I don't know what the science is, but here's what I do know is that if that's how dangerous it is at 80 miles an hour, what the fuck happens when somebody's cruising by at 100 miles an hour?
Yeah, it's just.
You're fucking dead, and other people around you are gonna die too when you get into an accident with them. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
100
hard.
miles an hour hitting an 80 mile an hour car is the equivalent of you going 20 miles an hour and fucking slamming into a car. That's just the impact because there's a 20 mile an hour difference. But then also the spin out, roll 20 times and fucking die.
And then like 20 other cars behind you traveling at high
Exactly.
speeds too, who don't have time to react to
Exactly.
that. So it's just
So,
a goddamn
that was
disaster. So folks out there, stop riding Josh on the highway. He's sick of it.
So my Larry David is actually kind of similar to yours, except on feet instead of in a car. So I am a very fast walker, and I cannot stand when you're on a sidewalk and there's a couple in front of you holding hands or whatever they're doing. Not even a couple, just two people standing next to each other. And if they were a Madden character, their awareness rating would be 0.
Yeah.
Because they're just taking their sweet time. And I'm a very fast walker, like I said. So I got to cut around them. Hate slow walkers.
That is, I couldn't.
But
agree
you're
more
reversing
either.
roles.
I'm the fast guy, yeah.
No, you're the
You're
fast guy.
riding up their ass and making them uncomfortable, which I do.
Yeah,
Why
Make
don't
some
you
room
go
on the
around,
sidewalk.
though?
Well,
Make
that's what I have to do.
But then you feel like a jerk.
sometimes there's instances where there's a restaurant on your one side and traffic on the other. You can't go around.
Yeah,
that
is true.
and that's that to me is gentleman. You know what I mean? That's gentleman's. Just if you're in a situation where there's not enough walking room for side by side, or you know what I mean,
Have some awareness.
the pass, have some self-awareness. God,
Yeah.
A little bit of awareness.
Yeah.
Second one, and this has definitely been said on the podcast before, but I'm a very anxious golfer, similar to you.
Yeah.
I cannot stand slow golf or just people behind me in general. And
Yeah.
at that course over the weekend, there was a threesome behind us and a foursome in front of us, 2 guys, 2 girls. So we were always waiting on them. This threesome was hitting into us all.
Yeah.
Get
And
the fuck out of here.
And then you feel like you're doing something wrong, but you're just not.
At the end of the day, we ended up playing a 3-hour, 55-minute 18, and I was like, holy shit. I feel bad because I felt like I was rushing Barrera and Maddie the whole time because, there was an instance when Barrera was in the woods on a side, probably 200 yards away from the tee box. These kids might not have seen them, but they all cranked it over his head. He's sitting in the woods doing his scramble thing with Maddie, and they're thinking through every shot.
And they're just taking fire.
And they're taking fire. in
Did
the
you
woods.
ever get the chance to explain to the people behind you that it wasn't your fault, it was the group in front of you's fault?
Well, they could open their eyes and see it. I didn't feel the need to explain to these kids
that does give your mind a bit of ease, though, when you
Yeah,
know that
at least say,
Right.
hey, it's not us, it's them.
Right, but
Yeah.
catching up to the other group made that happier in my mind. I was like, all right, so it's not us that's slow.
Also, I feel like 355 is not a
Very
bad pace.
fast 18, I think.
Yeah, that's a
you
normal
did
pace.
355, 18.
355.
That's fine.
That's
That's
more
one-
than fine. We were cruising.
Yeah.
And you still had people just up your ass. That's so
Up
annoying,
our
dude.
ass.
2
And they were,
hour, 9
and another
holes,
thing,
not
they were
bad.
good, so they were piping it in the middle of the fairway and noticeably waiting on us on some greens.
But you can't let them play through because if you let them play through, it
They got nowhere
doesn't
to go.
fix anything.
Right, it doesn't fix anything.
No.
This is, like I said, it's the never-ending cycle, and it will probably always be there. But maybe if we can bring some awareness from this podcast, we'll get enough people out there to.
Yeah, and you can click on the link in our bio to donate today to the cause. No.
Yeah. Or Venmo at AJ Cambio.
Shanks, anything?
I gotta stick with you on the bar scene for mine, and it has to do with covers. And granted, people need to charge covers, which is fine. You need to make your money somehow.
Oh, I hope you're going where you're going.
Does it
with
have to
this.
do with women?
Yes,
Dude,
Yes,
thank
it's
you.
bullshit.
So we go out, and there's a group of 4 girls in front of us, 3 girls are behind us, and we're a group of 5 guys. We get up to the thing, and they're like, all right, girls, $5 cover. We're like, oh, sweet. That's great. So we all have $5 up. They're like, oh, no, 20 for guys.
And then they were probably 3 girls behind you,
And then
they're in first.
And then the 3 girls go to around us to the guy on the side, $5, they're in.
Damn, see, this is hard because I can see it from both perspectives. Why would you ever even risk the opportunity for a girl to be like, that's too much money and walk away as a club? If your club doesn't have girls at it and plethora of them, the guys aren't willing to pay anything.
Yeah,
Right,
It's
but
John
that's true. At
John
the
Tapper 101.
101, get
John
fucking
Tapper
girls in the
says you
room.
need to get females in a bar because statistically more men will go to bars that there's a higher percentage of females.
It's
at.
a no-brainer.
At
So
the
I actually
same
see the bar
point,
side, but
I mean, absolutely. Granted, but at the same point, there's going to be a time when guys are like, I'm just not going to go there when I know I can go to another bar. And you know what I mean?
That has no girls.
That has one, either a tinier cover or whatever, because at the end of the day, at the same point, if there are no guys in the bar, girls are probably going to want to be able to, get drinks bought for them.
If I'm going to a bar and I know that there's going to be girls there, I'll pay any amount of money. I
See,
don't
that's
give a
you.
fuck. And it's not that I have money bags. I value that as the top of the. Why else am I going out? I could go take Cambio onto a golf course and fucking feed him some drinks, and he can hold me in that way. You know what I mean? Like we'll have a little
probably
day.
do better, but
No, but I mean,
Cambio.
no, but I mean, I think it just has to do with the whole bar culture, right? Like,
Shanks, can I be honest with you though? They don't give a fuck if you don't want to pay the cover. Or
that
not.
is no, I know,
Because
but
they're gonna fill the bar no matter what.
But the same thing,
your,
it's just like
issue is.
he knew what I was going to say before I said it. It's a thing that people see, but no one says anything about.
Didn't you pay for the bar? I mean, didn't you say the bar was like amazing? You loved it?
Yeah, that doesn't mean that I didn't go right up my ass.
So think about it like this. When you think about the amount of money you spend on bullshit, think about the fact that you enjoyed yourself. And despite what happened with the girls or whether or not you liked the system, you had a fucking good night.
I
and
did.
All it cost you was $20 to get in.
And you stole all those drinks too.
Yeah,
so
no, that's how I got them
true.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
got 'em back.
You probably made money on them.
yeah, screw them.
So you won.
No, but the same thing with like bar culture as a whole is like so financially like towards girls.
No shit.
It's crazy. Like, it is crazy. Like last year, like at school, you know, we have a big friend group that's girls that we like primarily hang out with, and we would like decide where to go to the bars based on where they thought there'd be more guys to buy them drinks.
Yeah, good. Because you know what? You fucking should.
Good
How else are you
plan
going to
on
talk
their
up to a...
part.
Yeah, it is good playing by them. Financially, they're fucking
You
strategists.
know how many times I've bought a drink for a girl and it's played out so nicely, and the fact that they're nice to me and they'll talk to me? Like, you can't just walk up
See,
to a
I'm
girl
the
in a bar
opposite.
now and
I'm
be
the
like,
opposite.
Paying for her to talk to
Yeah,
you.
I'm the- that's
no.
exactly.
You
That's
need-
why.
you
That's
need-
all I think
Dude,
about the whole time.
Okay, run me
No,
through
but you're
this.
right. That's how it works.
That is how it works.
Okay,
It's
if I
messed
got
up.
like the other night, I
I'm
was
a
in
good
the Cape.
guy.
Nick, I was in the Cape and I was at a bar.
Yeah.
And yes, there were people dancing and whatnot. And you know, I've also met a lot of girls on the dance floor or just in the bar. That's fine. But when you buy a drink, it's a forward. It's a what's the word? Like it's
I'm just gonna wave $20 around next time. It's like the same shit.
Conversation starter.
well, it's your platform to start a conversation.
Oh,
but
it's a
also,
bribe, is what it's called.
No, it's not a bribe. You obviously don't know what a,
A
bribe
gesture.
is. It's a grand gesture. It's a gesture that it's like when a peacock fucking opens its what is it?
I know what you mean. When he
Wings.
flaps his
God,
wings
that
out
is
and he's
not
like,
what it's
check
like. Dude,
out
you're
this
buying your
color
gin and
scheme,
tonic.
bitch.
No, he flaps his colors. Look, we're humans. Human beings are
colorful rum and
are
Coke.
evolved, but animals. And you know, when we go to a bar,
Oh my
that's a
God.
watering hole for us. So you know, when I go to a bar, it's like for me, I get the opportunity to meet a girl.
I must
I'd
be
pay
like
any
a
amount
bear.
for that.
I must be like a bear because I'm in hibernation a ton.
Well, maybe
So-
one day you'll meet a girl at the bar. You spend $20 on the drink. You meet her, and then she becomes your wife. And you know, there's 40 years off of $20.
Yeah, nah.
You gotta look at the bigger picture, Shanks. You gotta
Nah,
expand your
good.
mind.
Come on, man.
Nah.
Tinder Gold,
Just wait.
$19.99, I believe.
No. Way better investment than a $20 gin and tonic at
Just
a bar
wait,
with
Just
a
wait
girl
until you
who
graduate.
has lipstick halfway over her cheeks.
Just wait until you graduate, buddy.
Yeah, you're right.
You're still in school, so you still
That's right.
just wait. I wouldn't have
He's
done
a
that.
wee
in-
little lad.
Yeah, I didn't do that in school, dude. What, you think when I was in college when there were the ratio was 70 to 30, 70 girls, 30 guys, that I was out buying drinks for every girl? No.
I'm the opposite. I have 70% guys. Brian, so
Love that.
I just buy a 30 rack for my buddies and we hang out and watch a game. Like, I'd rather do that.
Yeah,
That
well,
sounds pretty
get
fun,
used to
actually.
buying drinks for girls.
That's
Shanks,
kind of
that's
right
all
up
I-
my alley.
Right? All right. Well, if you guys are not doing anything next week,
Nah, I'm all
dodge
set.
that,
I'm all
dodge
set.
that cover.
I'm all set. I'm all
All
set.
right,
Let's move in. Let's make it a little quicker though. Let's move into the stand-up portion. I was already getting chirped for my
Story.
future story that nobody even knows. So I'm actually Josh and Alex both know the story, but it's okay. But I'm gonna do it anyways. But I'm gonna throw it to Shanks first.
Oh, hey guys.
Wow, there's a left
Wow.
little curveball.
Dun-dun-dun. All right. So a quick little story here that actually has a punchline. So, this guy went to college, local, always lived with like his parents, that kind of thing. And he graduates, he moves into an apartment with a roommate who is a female, right? Which is normal. Like it happens, people are friends, this and that. And it's out of the city. So then his parents come to stay with him for the week and visit and meet his roommate. And, they're sitting at dinner that they cooked. And there's like, nice plates everywhere that she brought because she's into decorating or whatever. And there's like this really nice silver plate that they always talk about, right? So they're sitting down and the mother is just saying how, this girl's very pretty, like perfect for her son who they now live together. And she's kind of, thinking it, and they all know. And the son just comes right out, and he's saying, he's like, I know what you're thinking, but we're not together. We're not together. We're just roommates, and that's it. Mother goes, oh, yeah, that's fine. Like, I trust you. So that ends, and they're just normal conversation, nice girl. So then she leaves and goes back home, and both the girl and the roommate notice they're missing that silver plate, and they have no idea where it went, and that's, like, very important to, like, the whole house. So just out of curiosity, like, he texts his mom. He's like, hey, Mom, like, you didn't happen to steal that silver plate. I was just wondering, and it's just funny how, when you were here, it was there, and then as soon as you left, it was missing. And I'm just not trying to accuse you of anything, but I just want to know if you took it or anything. And she texts back, and she says, hey, it's funny how you said you guys were just friends, but if you slept in your own bed, you'd know that I put the silver plate under her pillow, and it's clear that she's sleeping in your bed. Wow, fucking crickets. Jesus Christ. Oh, my God, dude, crickets. That was the hardest bomb we've ever had. Oh, my God.
I did not know that was the end of
Oh,
Shanks, Jesus Christ.
that was a delivery thing, I think.
That's so bad.
That was so
I might have to
pumped.
cut. I might have to cut that whole thing. That was
Dude.
so bad.
Oh, my. All right. That was the biggest bomb we've ever had.
I'm not gonna lie. That is.
Do you not get the joke?
That's
I get
someone.
it.
That's somebody
Shut up,
earning their nickname.
Cam,
dude.
Jesus.
That is such an earned nickname right there.
Nicky shanked it right out of here, dude. Jesus
Thank
Christ.
God I can golf, dude, because that's literally all I can
Can
do.
I ask you a question?
What?
Did you make that joke?
Fuck no.
I found that online.
Do you think I could think that through?
You know that you're a funny kid, right?
Yeah, but I'm like a funny kid, like, in the moment.
Well, time to start thinking a little bit before the moment, and so you, Nick, I'm gonna
God,
level.
that was
That's
so
one of the-
bad.
That was.
Even that was bad, dude. Like, you didn't say it. Wow.
You know why? Because it's not coming from you. Tell me a story about how you stubbed your toe on a couch or something and then puked. Or I don't know.
I'm so.
Stubbed your toe and then puked.
Yeah, you were in so much pain, you puked. I'll laugh at that. I
Yeah.
can't laugh at that, dude.
No,
That was,
I gotta tell you, man. I really don't get out enough.
all right,
I just
you
don't.
some stories. All right, well, we'll keep.
You know
trying.
what? It's a valiant effort, and
Jesus.
it took a
No,
lot of
that
balls.
That was
and-
so bad, dude.
Listen, you have how many weeks left?
I have one more podcast.
You have one more podcast. You better fucking slam dunk it, dude.
I'm gonna go out every night from now until next podcast just to like see something.
But I will
crazy.
say, that being such a bad, awful joke, got a good laugh out of us. So
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it
the
did
hardest
get a
I've
very
ever
good
laughed
laugh.
at a bomb for
that
sure.
was so bad, dude.
No,
like
that
I'm like
was-
actually worried that it was that bad.
Usually, there's somebody that can relate to something. I mean, there's
Yeah,
gotta be like
I didn't set that one up.
no.
they were fucking crazy. Wow, that was a crazy joke.
Good one. All right, let's hear your story with no punchline now.
Yeah,
Here we go.
That's true. That's true.
Oh no, I'm gonna bomb this week.
All
no
right,
doubt
let's
about
go.
it. But-
How about you follow up that bomb? Go ahead, let's see.
So this is how Catholic school rules almost killed my friend Alex here.
Called it, by the way, Josh.
Oh my god.
So he's basically just telling me this joke because
I'll tell you and the
yeah.
audience.
He's telling a story about me.
Alex didn't
Correct.
even know what it was, and then he said, "But wait, there's only so many stories he could be telling," and it's like, "You got it last week. You told a funny story about something irrelevant.
Oh, last
that
week
was
was
good.
electric,
Yeah.
dude.
I'm going back, dude.
you got lazy, didn't you?
Let me develop.
All right, I'll give you a
because
shot.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Storytelling
All
is
right.
a talent.
That's true.
yeah, me and you don't have it, dog. So
All right, let's see it. Go
I
ahead.
have faith.
Just can we time it? You know what I mean? Like let's do it
Oh,
in a minute.
wrap it up quick. All right, so like,
blah 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 blah. The hell was that? Talk.
so like I've got done dirty by because me, Alex, and Josh went to Catholic school growing up together. So we got done dirty by the rules. You know, no belt, no hair too long, beard too long, detention, whatever. But no one got it worse than Alex. Back in 8th grade, he forgot his belt one day.
Yep.
And so he decided to cover up that he wasn't wearing a belt because he was so scared of getting a detention. He put on a sweatshirt. Because if you wore the Mercy Mount sweatshirt, if you wore the school sweatshirt, you didn't have to wear, you could cover up that you weren't wearing a belt. So it was in the middle of May, and we were doing this stupid, crowning of Mary ceremony outside. It's like 95 degrees, and Alex is out there in a sweatshirt just so he wouldn't get affected by the no belt rule. And everyone's wearing shorts and like a t-shirt and like the short sleeve shirt. Alex is in a full sweatshirt just to cover up that he didn't have a belt. Well, we're going through the ceremony, and all of a sudden,
Little buddy. Remember the little buddy?
yes, we had like these things called little buddies, which meant like as an 8th grader, you had a kindergartner, you took him under your wing. We're all watching the ceremony, and all I hear is a thud. Alex straight up, full-fledged, fainted because he was overheated, onto the ground at the Statue of Mary ceremony, and just face-planted inches away from a cement block. That would have
Front row viewing.
The entire crowd saw him, and he was just out, all because he had a sweatshirt on that was covering up that he wasn't wearing a belt. Josh then picked him up and saved the day. Ambulance had to come in front of the whole school. Ambulance had to come, put him on the stretcher. He had to go into the ambulance.
Brutal.
It was very embarrassing for him. Very funny.
I feel like
That was terrible.
There it is.
Let's let that one play out for a second.
Well, you missed out on the two best parts of the story. Number one, I have these
telling
two,
the story for you.
I have these two kindergartners to my left and to my right, and I faceplant right in front of them. And one of them's like a little high energetic kindergartner. He's like, "Ow!" laughing at me and pointing. Everyone thinks it's a joke, so everyone's like laughing at me while I'm unconscious.
Yes, everybody did think you were pranking everybody.
And then
You were that kid, huh?
He was lights out. Josh actually saved his life. He fucking
Lights
picked him out, picked him up, and took him out of the crowd.
Josh
It was
was
very
like, we need an ambulance. Oh my gosh. I can
And then
imagine,
one
I
of
can
the-
imagine like mini Josh.
One of the teachers
Get an
tried
ambulance.
one
Oh
of
my
the-
God.
One of the teachers tried like picking Alex up off of Josh's shoulders. He just completely fucked it up.
dropped me.
Yeah, so that was pretty funny. I'll work on some more material. I had
All right.
I
Nice
had
the
job,
worst.
guys.
No, that was the worst I've heard yet.
It was like, yeah.
because you know the story.
Yeah,
Shanks was
'cause I know
giggling
the
over there.
story.
But you should know that.
But the
no, I'm
audience
not gonna
doesn't
lie,
know the
though.
story. It's not
No,
about
like
you.
two
It is
sentences
about me.
in,
It's about this-
two sentences in, I knew what was gonna happen because one also like 2 hours ago he was like, "Oh, I passed out."
Yeah, I was like, I have a feeling he's going to tell the faint story.
Yeah, so
My other one is that
thanks for nothing.
men are just very simple.
What?
And simple pleasures. Last week, Alex brought this tool in to cut up golf balls because we just wanted to experiment.
See, this is funnier.
We just wanted to see what the inside of golf balls looked like. And Alex brought this whole pipe cutting tool. And I think we spent about 45 minutes just cutting different types of golf balls in half.
We're like,
and just
"Oh,
looking
whoa."
at the inside.
There's
Just like,
a
oh
whole
my
bucket.
God. And Josh got a hold of the cutting tool. And literally for 20 minutes, he was just taking golf balls. And we were just going like, oh my God. And we were just cutting them in half and just looking at the inside of them. And like, kind of just made my whole week, actually. It was so
Yeah,
fun.
I was texting my friends. I was like, yo, Joe, check this out. This is the inside of a TaylorMade.
So that was, I mean, actually, that would have worked better than the
Well,
story.
here's the thing. You know, here I'll actually make it easy on you. On you and you. You don't get to. I'm pointing at Nicky Shanks, everybody out there. You cannot pull a joke. If I hear another joke that's structured like that, and knowing that it's from online, I'm kicking you out of the fucking room. And you, Colucci,
Good
you
thing
just
I-
can't include any of us in the story. It has to be a story that none of us have ever. We weren't there for. We don't know about. And then you can tell any story you want. You can tell.
It's so hard because
Well, your grandma is full of fucking stories. I mean, your life with the
gotta get her on
Cicilinis
here.
are perfect.
Gotta get her on here.
There's a lot of ways you go with it. You'll get
Like
creative.
the breaking Uncle David's window
Oh
story
my
is
God.
electric.
That's a great story, but you know, of course, that's one I've heard. So find another one like that I haven't heard.
Right.
I've got a few.
I'll take a whack. I mean, this might bomb because I just, you know, it's a hard joke. Jokes are jokes.
I
They're
laugh
hard.
at you laughing at yourself trying to tell a joke. That's the best part.
But here's the thing: is like one of the things I was picking out is like how, like a lot of people change and evolve. You know what I mean? Like things do change with a lot of people. But then there's a lot of people or certain things about people that just don't change. You know what I mean? They just are whatever.
I think this is about me.
No,
it's
I mean,
about Colucci.
no, I mean, you know, what's funny is like all four of us could have those things where
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
so, but you know, you guys all have dads and you know that the older
I do
they
indeed have a
the-
father.
Yeah. The older they fucking get, the more just set they are. You know what I mean? You try, I think I've done a good job with my dad, but you know, I had
Raising
this,
him.
like he's kind of evolved with us. You know what I mean?
Raising my father.
But no,
I've done a good job raising my father.
no, yeah, my brother and I brought him into 2022. But anyways, so like a year ago, he had asked me a question really quickly. He goes, I'm downstairs and he says, so Josh, what do you make about life? You know, like what's the next step for us? How should we be living our lives? You know, and the funny part was he was literally had my mom was right there with her fucking purse, and they're walking out of the house. So he's asking me this question as he's leaving. So you know what I mean? Like hits me with this existential
30
question.
seconds, go.
Yeah. So he's like, give me an elevator pitch of how we should fucking live our lives. I mean, like, so I answered back to him. I started talking. Of course, like I basically said, I think we should live our lives with time in mind. So get the fuck out, go where you're going, because that's all I can say is keep time in mind, right? And you know, he says, man, I fucking agree. You know, I got to keep that in mind. I got to live life to the fullest. But I got to keep time in mind. I got to keep it in the backhand. So, you know, fast forward to the following day. I wake up. It's a good day. And I was like, I walk in and I'm like, I look him in the eyes and I'm like, hey, all right. So, you know, after our little short conversation that you slammed in my face for 10 seconds yesterday, and you agree with me, but we got to keep time in mind. What do you think about today? It's a big day, right? Like huge. And he looks back at me and he's like, you know, he kind of looks, you know, he looks puzzled. And I'm like, you know, it could even be a day that some would say they would want to remember, you know, to keep within their time schedule. And he looks back up and he's still puzzled. And I was like, it might be a day to remember because it's the day I was fucking born. And he looks up at me and he goes, huh. And then he goes back to watching the news.
Oh my God.
That's awesome.
That was actually a good one.
That's good.
That was good.
Thank you. I will note, okay, not a real story. Didn't happen. Crafted.
Oh, wow.
That's good craft.
Well,
That's good
actually,
craft.
yesterday, he asked me that question, what do you make of life, whatever? And I said, that's pretty funny because you clearly don't fucking, I mean, you're walking out. He was going to church, so he like left and whatnot. And I was like, but I got to bring it back to something that's even more funny, which would be the fact that you forgot my birthday, which is surprise. That's one of the 8 elements of making a human laugh, surprise.
You definitely did those research.
Well, I'm learning about how to structure jokes.
That was pretty good. No, that's pretty good. Definitely number 1 so far, but we close out with Alex.
I have a few.
Oh.
The first
Pick
one
one.
isn't a joke. It's more just what this day in history. And it relates to you guys because you guys love Dave Matthews Band. And I'm not sure if you've ever heard about this. But on August 8th, 2004, the tour bus belonging to Dave Matthews Band dumped an estimated 800 pounds of human waste from the bus's septic tank onto a passenger sightseeing boat in Chicago River.
Oh,
ready?
I was reading this today.
3 weeks later, Mayor Richard Daley held a press conference in which he expressed his disbelief, saying that the dumping was absolutely unacceptable, but he believes that Dave Matthews is a very good band.
That's pretty funny.
I read something about that today. I was like, "There's no way that's real."
never seen that.
Same.
That's
I
fucked
saw it.
up.
I looked it up. It's 100% real.
That's fucked
They only
up.
had to pay $300,000 in like repairs.
imagine you're on the boat. You're like, oh, look at that. Oh, it's
But
raining.
Dave
Shit.
Matthews is a very good band. That's pretty funny.
All right, next one, online joke. So there's this couple. They're on like their 4th or 5th date. They're out to dinner. The guy looks at the girl and he says, "Listen, this is starting to get a little serious. I just want you to know something. I'm addicted to golf. Anytime I play, I play. Any second I can practice, I practice. I'm always out there and I'm really good." She said, "All right, well, since we're telling secrets, I just want to let you know that I'm a hooker." He said, "All right, listen, that's really not a big deal. Just keep your head down and your left shoulder straight."
That's actually
That's good.
That's actually a good one.
That's good.
Wow.
That was great.
It's going to be more.
Well, again, he's got good. The delivery was great, and he picked a
even
good
if
joke.
you look it up, as long as you can deliver it well,
Yeah,
that's good.
that's where I dropped the ball.
Yeah, I know.
That was fucking funny. That's gonna wrap it up today. And
are you the host now?
Wait, one
You
more
know,
thing.
no.
You didn't listen to me. I was going to tell another joke. That's going to
Yes.
wrap it up today. And now, after only 5 tries, Andrew's still doing the same thing that he did the first fucking day when nobody laughed. So everybody, another round of applause for
Well, it's
Kaluzi.
hard when you know 2 kids that you've known since you were 5 years old. They know all your stories, but I have a couple I think that I could.
Well, you don't have to tell your stories. You can do what I did.
Yeah,
Fabricate
make up
them.
a story.
Fabricate them. You just as a joke, dude. You just got to tell a joke. Look up, hey, YouTube. There's a lot of resources, man. That's what I did. And you guys have laughed at every time I've
Fake.
done that joke. You have laughed. I've made my own jokes based off of their structures and their strategies, and I've got you to laugh.
So you're
even-
cheating.
Well, no, I'm being educated. When you fucking laugh, you don't want to laugh at me. And I still get you to laugh.
Sometimes, okay, like today I laughed at the joke. Other times I laugh at you like struggling through the joke, which is kind of funny too.
Okay, that's fair.
You know,
which is part of my not being good, but
no, which is like.
But I got you to laugh.
Oh yeah, you make me laugh.
Yeah, you do make me laugh too, which is why I'm pissed off because you're more funny than probably.
And
all of us.
I think you're handsome and
Stop being a fucking kiss ass. Your internship is ending in 2 weeks.
Tall and
all
funny and smart.
The second you walk out that door, you're history, guys.
Yeah, you're right.
Aw.
History.
Yeah,
Not
that is
true.
a side note for the listeners. We do have one more podcast left with Nicky Shanks.
Nicky Shanks' send off next week.
Yeah, he's maybe we'll do like a recap on.
No, I was going for the applause.
He was going for
It was
the
a
applause.
joke.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was a
comedic
joke.
timing.
Goddamn.
No wonder why he doesn't do well. Sorry.
Tune in next week to T-Box Talk.
On a
for-
more serious note, while I can get this on air recorded,
Oh,
you
no.
tried to say 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, that you could beat me in golf. My friend Joe and I, 2v2 OMADA versus official challenge.
Say it less. Say less.
Wow,
Say less.
Joe and you. So what?
Me and
Colucci
Joe,
I?
you and Colucci.
Wow.
You
Say
picked
less.
the format and the
Scramble.
place.
Scramble.
Oh, all right, we'll see.
So all right, so it's you two
Wish
against
you know it's
Josh.
just going to be you two
It's,
against
it's my friend
What's-
Joe and I versus Josh.
How
basically.
good's Joe?
He's like a 12 probably.
Is he really?
So it
That's
actually
pretty
works
good.
out pretty well.
Scramble or stroke play?
We'll let
We
you
could
guys
do
pick.
an average best ball where me and
Aggregate.
Josh have to average out our scores, and you and Joe average out your scores.
I'm going to tell you
per
something.
hole.
I'm kind of done with like
Well, Colucci tried to
being
challenge me
the
last
fucking
week.
being the anchor on
He
that
tried
team.
to challenge
between-
me last week, and I'm getting someone of relatively equal skill level to you.
All right, so I'm just being dragged into the mud on this one.
Yeah,
dude.
Yeah.
pretty much.
All right, you're going to need to put some sim time in this week. Then I
Yeah,
think.
yeah. All
or
right, I'm
next
going to
week.
go hit the sim. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode 17 of T-Box Talk. Thank you to Alex for joining us as a special guest.
Woo!
Tune in next week for Nicky Shanks' send-off, and maybe I will figure out the stand-up stuff, but probably not.
All right.
Peace out, everybody.
Peace.
Woo.